one of the things we like to do at All Nations Soccer Club is talk about just our stories, but also, our stories and how they relate to immigration, because just about everyone here is from another country. Some of you were born here, and even those that were born here, like myself, it's still an immigrant journey because, you guys know I've been gone for 5 weeks, and that's because of my immigrant journey. We got people from India, from London, from all these different countries here, from Burma, which is now Myanmar, and there's just so many people from so many different countries. And being an immigrant has a lot of challenges, and I want to speak to some of those challenges. But before I do that, I want to just mention that in the Bible it says in Acts 17:26 that God appoints the exact times and places that men should live, so that they will reach out and perhaps find Him. And so the fact that you're here, I believe, is your destiny, and that God appointed that because He says that in His Word. And so He puts us in specific places for a specific reason, and that reason is so that we'll reach out and find Him. And the greatest commandment is to love God. And so everything I do, every decision I make, like whether I take a job or marry this woman, or the big things in life, it's all about my relationship with God. Is this decision going to help my relationship with God? And so what I've been doing is I went to England, and so when I was about your guys' age, young 20s, I went to London to lead a campus ministry, and at the London School of Economics. And while I was there, I met the woman who I would marry, and so I brought her here, and so she's an immigrant here. And now her mother is very sick, and she has stage 4 cancer, and her mother is dearly loved. I mean, I love her like my own mother, and my wife and her are really close, and that's real hard. So my heart is here, but my heart is there, and my heart is in Greece. And so a few days ago, I had to watch my wife say goodbye to her mother, like literally say goodbye. I mean, we'll have FaceTime and we'll be on the phone, and and it's in God's hands. She could live for many more years. We never know. But but that was gut-wrenching and really tough to see my wife say goodbye to her mother, And then I had to go to Greece. My grandmother, who I loved a lot, she died, and she left me a lot of property. And it's not like real valuable property, like I'd sell it and be rich or something, but I have to take care of it. It's been in my family for like 200 years. And so my heart is in Greece, and I have relatives there. But I see the destiny. God brought my family to America, I believe, so that we could know Him better. But when we go back, we're also bringing the gospel back to Greece. Like, I have cousins there who I have shared the Bible with. And then in London, we have family members that we share Christ with. And so it's all about knowing God. Every aspect of this is about knowing God. But it's really tough on families. It's tough for me, for my heart, to be in 3 places, to be in the United States, and to be in England, and to be in Greece. That's really hard, and that's a challenge we face as immigrants. Is we've got relatives in other countries, and our hearts are there with them, like the grandmother that helped raise us, who's maybe in another country. Then that's really hard. And then one of the other really challenging things about the immigrant journey is growing up in a new country. We don't have fathers that are really switched on necessarily. A lot of the people here, their fathers were killed in civil wars, or they're working really, really hard, and they don't have time to really help us and be there with us. And so when it comes to the big decisions in life, like where to go to college, or where to get a job, or how to get a job, or who to marry, we're all alone because our fathers are tied up or not there. And that's a real pain and challenge of the immigrant journey, is just fathering young men and really raising them up. His father died when he was 49. My dad was 8 years old, and he watched his 49-year-old father die, and he had to figure it out on his own. And then he had me, and he had to figure out how to be my father, and he didn't really know. And we figured it out together, and we got to where we needed to be, but it was a lot of setbacks. And so a lot of the guys here, you know, I understand that you have setbacks and you have challenges that you're working through. And it's based on the distance, you know, the distance to your family, you know, being so far away, and then being here and only having part of your family here, and you don't really get the attention and the mentoring and the character development that you really need. And so that's really tough. But, you know, one of the things we can do here at All Nations Soccer Club is mentor people. You know, there's a lot of older men here, a lot of dads, a lot of father and son people here, you know, like Edgar and Paxton and Ikas and Amit and Dale and James, Nate and James, and that's really good. But you know, a lot of the guys here just need help. You know, you're all alone making these big decisions. And I want to tell you that, you know, there's guys like Chris and myself and a lot of the older guys here, Daniel, that would love to help you. You just got to ask. You know, we can't force ourselves on. You just got to ask and say, hey, you know, I met this girl and it's going so and so, you know, sort of ways. And hey, I need help getting a job. It's not going real well. You know, and you know, I'm thinking of going to college, or you know, the big decisions in life. You know, we've been through all that, and we can help you. We'd love to help you, and that's why we're here. You know, and so thanks for listening, and thanks for all you guys do to make this community what it is. And I had a great time playing tonight, and I heard a lot of yipping and yapping over here. Was that a good game, Amir?
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. We're having a great time. And let's, you know, let's pour into each other's lives. You know, you've got brothers and fathers here, and make the most of it. You know, God's going to give you what you need. It's right in front of you. You just got to reach out and grab it. So I want to encourage you to do that. We'll be here again on Sunday at 5. And if you want to bring the pennies, that would be great. Otherwise, we'll just do shirts and skins or light and dark. But that's all I got. Thanks for watching, guys, and listening. And we'll wrap it up there. See you on Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you.